guys, welcome. We are here at the Vokey SM10 Fitting Day for staffers here in Austin. I'm with Tyler Vermeer. He is the fitter for the Austin area. I'm really excited to get on to what's going on with the new wedges. Currently, you guys know, this is, some people think it's weird. I play the Wilson staff. Nothing has knocked him out for the last 4 years.
Okay.
I have a feeling I'm ready to move on. He's going to take us through the fitting, the numbers. We'll do some full shot stuff, but we're really going to spend most of our time bunkers and short game area.
So when we talk wedges, we look at really three things that we think can make a wedge better. It's flight, it's spin, and it's versatility. So from a spin factor, we're always looking at how we can make our TX9 grooves a little bit better, more efficient. We get sharper on groove cutting.
Okay.
We focus on the heat treat process, which is only going to be in the impact area of each wedge, but effectively doubles the life of the groove on each wedge.
So grooves will last longer. Doesn't that hurt the company?
We try and do things the right way at the end of the day.
As long as it's right.
But it is important, right? We want to make sure that grooves last as long as possible, so golfers can use them as long as possible.
Yeah. And what's the recommended? I think I remember it was like almost, if you're playing 3 or 4 times a week, it's what, like every 6 months? That's
probably a good number. I would tell you that the tour players are typically on a 4-3-2-1 rule, which is they're going to replace their pitching wedge once a year. They're going to replace their gap wedge twice, their sand wedge 3 times, and their lob wedge 4 times a year.
Yeah, interesting. That's from Dill. That's straight from the Dill.
That's straight from our tour boys. So
there you go. That's interesting. 4-3-2-1. Yeah.
But at about 75 rounds, we will start to see some deterioration. So again, it's something that you always want to watch for.
Yeah.
And I would
rounds. Wow.
I would tell you as the golf pro, if your members are coming in and they're asking to change the grip on their wedge, they probably need a new wedge. It's probably time, because if the grip's worn down that much, their grooves are probably worn down that much. But again, trying to focus on how we generate more spin, more consistently and longer.
Yep.
Flight is a big component of that.
Okay.
So when we talk about flight, we're looking at CG placement.
Okay. Yeah, talk about that.
And especially, we want, you watch your best wedge players, they are launching the ball low, they're spinning it high, it's more controllable, it's more predictable. So ultimately, that's what we're trying to do. And our focal point when it comes to CG is trying to hit between grooves 2 and 5. That's where you get the best performance out of a wedge.
2 and 5. Yeah.
So you're trying to line up your CG with your impact area. And what we'll see is the CG, especially as we get into some of our higher lofts, has been moved out in front of the face. It's a better feel, it's a better flight in the line. We're also going to see in the lower lofts a CG that has been moved slightly away from the heel, more towards the center. Because as you are making a swing with your 46, 50, 52, you're making a more aggressive move, and we don't want to draw bias because we don't want our wedges going left. So a CG placement more in line with the center is going to give us just a more consistent strike, higher MOI, a straighter ball flight. And the length of the hosel plays a part of that. We continue to tweak that to manufacture flight.
Yeah. So the 50, Here. We can see it.
Here's the difference between a 46 and
that's great.
46 and a 58.
Right.
So hosel length is a big factor in that. And versatility, obviously, we're always looking for new grinds. 54M is back in the line. T-grind is officially back in the line. It's fine-tuning. It's evolving what we're already doing really well and just making it a little bit better so we can get slight improvements in performance with every iteration of our new wedges.
Yeah. And the new SM10 is not pronounced SMEO?
It is not SMEO.
SMEO, okay. Have you had questions like that?
Only you.
The new Vokey SMEO.
Only you.
I like it. It's exciting stuff. We'll get into the fitting with Tyler, who is who sounds like a raccoon over here, going through a dumpster bin. He's packing up. It's the end of the day. Anything that surprised you with the staff fittings over the last week or last couple of days? He's excited. Let's introduce you to Tommy. Tommy, say hi. He's a legend. He's a legend.
Hello, everyone. You're not playing these wedges. You are doing a disservice to your game. End of story.
We're back.
Any surprise? I would say, just the importance of testing each of the grinds.
Yeah.
You don't know unless you hit them. We've seen a lot of staff members move from one grind to another this year. So again, it's the importance of getting fit and testing them all out, seeing them, how they interact with your swing especially is probably the most important thing.
Yeah. Would we say, because we're in Austin, we've talked so much about this on my channel, it's a lot of SMTs, S grinds, M grinds, T grinds here, or are we still seeing guys, maybe because we're talking about a lot of staffers might be at private clubs that have different controls, like with sand, with turf, that they're softer?
I don't.
Are we still seeing a lot of D grinds?
We see a lot of everything. That's the reality. Even though I would tell you that in Austin we're a little bit firmer, a little bit tighter, we do still see a large number of K grinds.
Oh, wow. You think that's because of sand, or it's like going through the turf?
Part of it is sand.
Yeah,
they might get down to 1 or 2 wedges. They might get down to a D and a K, but out of the bunker, the K is just so easy that you can't argue the performance.
And here's an interesting question, because let me think about this. Tom Kite, right? The K grind. Are the guys who are playing K grinds older, and are we seeing a lot of the younger guys gravitating to T grind kind of thing, or what?
Part of it on tour. We do see more low bounce Ks on tour, WedgeWorks exclusive. But we see a lot of low bounce Ks, especially when they go over and they play across the pond, because those softer conditions are.
Yeah. And in our staffers, just think about from our staffers, because tour is tour, right? I mean, they're constantly tweaking, like week to week, that kind of thing. But most of our guys are staying here, right? They're not traveling all over the world. So have you noticed, like, younger guys, like, there are a lot of T grinds for the younger guys, and then some of the guys maybe who were in their 50s, 60s who are like, yeah, man, I love that K grind kind of thing, their delivery in the sand, or there's no pattern?
I wouldn't say there's necessarily a pattern. I would say that K grinds tend to be maybe slower swing speeds.
Okay. Interesting. That's one. Didn't think about that.
But we do see a fair number of Ts, but I don't think there's any more Ts than Ms or D grinds. What's that?
Confidence level.
Confidence level is a big part of it. And I think, as you lose speed, you lose confidence sometimes. And so that's why K grinds are probably a little bit more used. But, we see a good mix between M, S, D, and we do sprinkle in some T's along the way, typically for a better player, somebody really good with their hands. A Spieth, a Thomas, where they're really proficient around the greens and can open it up and hit those shots, use the bounce, and a few Ks along the way.
Right. Interesting. Well, thank you, Jordan, for kind of walking us through. We'll get into some details in my fitting with Tyler. A lot of interesting stuff to talk about that we'll go through with grinds, with different types of shots, especially around the greens.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
All right, so here we go. We're going to do full shots with the Gamer. This is my 60, and we'll just get some numbers. Perfect. 90 yards to that pin.
You got it.
Okay. Oh, thank you, sir. Beautiful. Look at that, feed me these beautiful Pro V1s. Woo, woo.
Rolling out the red card.
Rolling out their red card. Look at you guys. Fitters for fitters. That's what we are. We're just fitters for fitters. All right, nice little low bullets. We'll only hit a couple more. A little higher.
So what are some of the things on your current game, or your Wilsons, that you do like?
So what I really like is my ability to flight them. Okay. What I struggled with in the past, when I tried to go over to some of the 60s, I couldn't flight them down nearly as much. So everything was just too high. Okay. And that's probably the most valuable thing to me, is being able to, hit something like that where it's about half the height, and then if I want to add some extra distance to it, it won't just balloon up on me. Sure. What was the peak height on that one?
That one there, peak height was 48 feet.
Perfect. I love that. What was the number, Carrie?
Carry-wise on it, it was, pause for a moment, 71.
71. So if I want to go from 71 to about 85 and not get any height, I would love that. And let's see. So it should be about that. What was that one?
That one carried at 84.
Perfect.
height of 61.
So 61, so right around 60 feet.
Yeah.
Right, I'm okay with that if that's
comfortable height.
correct. So let's get right into it. We're gonna go right into the T-grind.
T-grind?
Do you have the new nickel finish? This one's the
that's jet
darker?
black.
Okay, the jet black we got for now.
The nickel, you can certainly look at that after.
Oh, is that the T-grind?
Well, no, I don't.
Oh, the D, got it. Yeah, yeah, for today, yeah. And that's the thing, some people think fitters have everything, right? We have a bag of clubs. You've seen me with my bag in videos. I don't have every finish in every grind. So the T-grind for fitting right now is...
You'd be toting about 84 different kinds of wedges.
You would have 84 wedges. It's just hard enough to carry these giant bags. All right, let's see it. Tell me those numbers.
Grid strike there.
Tell me about numbers there.
Carry on that one was 73 and peak height was 51.
51, great. So we're seeing those things that I was hoping for already through the turf. It feels awesome through the turf. You can see my shape of my divots already shallowing a touch, which I like.
That one you went after
Yeah.
a little more,
Little thinny,
right? Here.
little thinny.
It's okay. Peak height on that one was 44.
Okay,
Distance on it was about 90.
okay. Yep, that was,
There it is.
that one is, I would expect it to go that high. I would expect it to fly like that, which I like. There was, again, the times, if I hit, here I'll hit a couple, you have like an M grind?
Yeah, 60M.
Sure.
Let's see, there we go.
And so M grind,
M grind, so 8 degrees of bounce versus 4.
yep,
And then it's
Different
not as
shaping.
aggressive as a sole shaping. It's a
Yeah.
little more, I guess, player friendly.
so this is, we got a little wider sole, the back has less relief, so through the turf, and again, you know, the way it exits the turf, there's the front, the leading edge is the way it enters, and then the width in the back shaping is how it exits, how long it stays in. So I struggled with that. Yeah, I mean, that was immediate.
One more.
Yeah, not that it's a bad wedge or doesn't work. I mean, we have Jordan, who's our rep for the area, who's just off camera here. He hits great shots with this. I struggle based on my angle of attack and delivery.
That's why we make
Yeah, totally different. And what were the numbers on that one?
different lofts and grinds, right? Because the stuff that fits you and the stuff that fits Jordan's obviously going to be very. So that one you were average carry right around. Yeah, that last one was 63.
Yep.
Carry, and then about 59.
So
height.
60 height, yeah. And look at the difference in the shape of the divot, right?
Yeah. Obviously a little bigger profile.
Yep. Yep. So let's go right back. This is the stuff I love in fittings where you get to see immediate change. So now I'm gonna go to T-grind. We're back in T-grind. Yeah, that just, it works.
Another big thing, now that we're fortunate to be hitting outdoors versus indoors, right?
Right.
So you can actually see it. The sound that the wedge in your hand
Yep.
versus the M grind.
Yeah, right.
Right. The sound of the contact and how firm and solid it really is with the T versus the M.
Yeah, for
Could
sure.
also be a contributing factor.
Yeah, and when I used to fit indoors, what I would do is I'd actually have clients hit off the carpet, the bare carpet, because because there is no forgiveness on that. And if you have the right wedge, and I know there's stories of Bob Vokey, right, having guys hit stuff off cart paths and then grinding from there. That was how I actually came up with that. Was that I heard that story about him doing that with players, and then that's how he started grinding specifically for players. So I was like, okay, well, if a good grind is a good grind, then it should work on anywhere.
Bob's
And
got a couple tricks up his sleeve.
yeah, so that actually did wonders for me when I was indoors.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but we could see definitely, I mean, look at the difference in the shape right here.
Yeah.
Immediate change.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people get caught up. They want big, I call them beaver pelts, right? Big, massive craters.
Yeah, yeah.
You really just kind of want to skim the turf. That was phenomenal.
That one was just a touch, slowed the body down, got the hands under, but that's what I would expect from that. So I like that. If I don't mind if I make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not playing for millions of dollars, so let's be real here. It's a Tuesday afternoon. I'm in the office, and I'm on the range hitting golf balls.
Right. Get your 10,000 hours in.
Little thinny. That one will do nothing for us. I like it. Just lower body stopping.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hit that guy makes the final over towards the short game session. We're back, we're getting numbers with my 56 here. The old Wilson staff. It's done me well, and I'm really excited to see what can be in the SM10s here. So, okay, 56, we'll hit just 2. What do we got carry-wise? We got carry numbers there. We'll get in the next one.
102.8 at 6,600.
102.8 at 6,600. Love it.
107 at 73.
107 at 73. And let me do one more where I kind of go after it a little bit.
Yeah. Give me the gamer shot.
The gamer shot, if I'm playing this, a little cut wind into the wind. Let's say 110, 112.
Well applied.
All right, what do we got there? What was that number?
Carry on that one. 104.
Okay.
10,000.
10,000 spin. Yeah.
56M.
Okay, do we have the 54M yet or
Yeah,
no?
yeah. Would you hit that one instead?
Yeah, I think because, you know, my numbers in the past, this has spun a little bit too much. So
54.
I'll hit 1 with this one. You can tell me the numbers and we'll jot, because I think sometimes that's a great question, right? Like, hey, why a 54 versus 56?
Yeah.
So let's see the numbers that come out.
Initially, lower ball flight right off the get-go.
Yeah, interesting. One more. I like that divot shape better too.
105 in the air, 11,000 spin.
Gotcha. So,
And the peak height there was only 73 feet in the air.
I love that. I like that too.
Love that.
Talk to
that
me.
goes back to throwing darts.
Yeah. What is that one?
That one carried at 107,
Wow.
spun at almost 9,000,
Okay. and
only got 57 feet in the air.
I love that.
54M.
54M. So it's same grind, nothing's changed between 56 and 54 in
No.
grinds.
The hosel length wouldn't be any different.
So, gotcha. So there's nothing different.
Just the number on the bottom of the boat?
Yeah, we'll see what this feels like just at 54 if numbers. Little hoisty on that. What were the numbers on that one?
So that one carried at 97.
Yep.
Spun at 46. I think that one was a little flubby.
Yep, that was
Little
definitely. Scoopy flubby. I'll take it. Even I do that. Little
Skinny.
skinny.
I got you.
That's always the reaction, isn't it?
Find the middle of the boat.
Between the two. All right, let's see. Little skinny, but
That'll be an interesting one though.
yeah.
So you hit that one a little low, groove low on the
Yep,
face.
for sure.
But check this out. Your spin rate was still at almost 9,000 RPM.
Wow, how far did that carry?
And that one carried at 111.
Okay.
And it only got 57 feet in the air.
I love it. Little fatty, but interesting. So now I'm thinking, what if I decrease the bounce on this by going 56 bent to 54? What was that? Because that would be like the stock, I'm just going to hit one. What was that number?
That one carried at 102.
Yep.
Spun at about 6,000 RPM and got 80 feet in the air.
Okay. Now I'm going to
Very
go
solid shot.
my low bullet, my final test low bullet. Just a touch high, but numbers.
That one got set up 80 feet in the air, spun at about 4,800 and carried 109.
Interesting. So I mean that's a removal of spin. So a lot of versatility there for me to be able to kind of do those things all the way from 9,000 and then peel it off to 5,000. And those will actually spin quite a bit when they get to the greens, those low bullets. All right, T, so we're out of the bunker now.
Yep, change of scenery.
Yep.
Little different turf here.
Yeah, so this is thin. This is that kind of thin stuff we're seeing in.
Winter sand.
Yep.
Right. We've had a little rain recently.
Yep.
It's a little firmer than most people might be used to.
Yep.
Airy on the top, firm on the bottom.
Let's see. Ooh, I never thought of that. Area on the top. Well played. Always start with a good blade. Every session starts with a good blade. Let's get a little bit more left. Oh, we'll get it. We'll get that.
They're just golf balls.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah. So that was just, again, a lot of very little sand.
So Paul, the T grind is actually a good
Yeah.
grind for this kind of sand.
Yeah.
Right, it's firm packed, so something with a sharper leading edge like the T, where it's a 4 bounce versus most people's typical 8 or 10 or 12, something like that.
Woo,
have a little
sticky.
zip on there.
Yeah, sticky stick.
There you
I love it.
It's just going to allow you to get through the turf a little easier, so you can be a little more aggressive with your attack into the ball with this one.
So I'm going to hit a wide face, right? This is a tough bunker shot, right?
It is hard.
I mean, you offered me before camera went on. He's like, "Do you want to do this here?"
Are you sure you want to be short-sighted?
I was like, "I don't care."
Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, that's
as good as it gets.
I think we're done.
That's a
right?
putt in par right there.
Little release, that's okay, it was good. I like it. All right, so I mean, this is I knew this already as a fitter, right? Because there's nothing new in the grind itself for this year.
No.
So I've gotten to play with this grind a little bit. We kind of the deck is stacked a little in the fitting. But
we tinker a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know what? Let me try.
That's a 54.
Yeah, I don't care.
So this is actually a good shot, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of times when we're wedge fitting, we'll ask people, you know, when you have a 54 or a 56, do you ever use it out of bunkers? Right, from here to that back flag is a good example of it. I'd say this is like a 35, 40-yard bunker shot.
For sure.
Something that you don't need to land all the way there.
Right, so let's take a look at this. Let's see what happens.
Look at that. And so then hopefully, like it did, releases about 10, 15 feet.
Yeah. I need opportunity with my wedges, right? I don't hit perfect shots all the time. I would love to.
Nobody does.
No. So this one I'm adjusting a touch. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, but
a little higher flight there.
Yeah, a little higher. And
that's
that one sat.
That you're able to then open up and you're almost turning it into like a 58 or a 59.
Correct. So now I'm going to play it a little bit more square face because I'm curious what that feels like. All right, one more. I'll get a little more aggressive out of that.
A little closer to the ball.
Yeah.
For sure.
I like what's happening through the sand for now with this. Nope. No.
There it is. One more.
One more. Last one. That one is a certain kind of shot that I try for 50-yard bunker shots where I pretend the sand's not there.
Yeah. Just kind of try to clip it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost so you don't have to interact. But let's play a more traditional shot.
There it is. So that's
beautiful.
There. You got a little more aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Lands at the stick and then comes back.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there's opportunity, right? 100%. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Wedges.
Blank canvas.
All right, so Tyler, we're talking a little bit of rough now, opportunities in a wedge setup, right? Like have a little more bounce on one versus the other, and what are the effects?
Yeah, so some guys, based on where you are in the country, right? Some guys tend to favor more low bounce, some guys like high bounce.
Yeah.
It's a fact though, out of thicker rough, lower bounce, which is why sometimes like US Open type stuff, you see guys with a low bounce.
Yeah. And we could see the hay out of here. So sometimes you have dry rough that you might need more bounce to not dig or.
Yeah.
So let's see the feel.
I'll go in.
So that was just like what felt like a little bump and run to me.
Yeah, a little pitch.
Yeah. So where I can have soft hands, right? That one was just a little.
Groove low.
Yeah. All right, let's see one more time because we're going to switch to the T grind in a second and we're going to see what I have to do that's different. So still some really nice spin out of that.
The ball, it takes one or two skips and then tries to check up.
Yeah. I mean, look, these are winter greens right now, right? I mean,
it's firm.
It's sucked in the grass. It's
that ball's still moving.
Puckered. It still is. Jeez.
There we go.
Right. So there's your soft touch.
Yeah.
That's the 54M.
60T.
60T. Let's see kind of what happens. How I have to change my delivery through this. Be interesting, right? Because this grass, right, you'd say, oh man, you're just going to slide under.
But you risk a lot, right? You might catch it heavy, flub it, and you might slide right underneath it, and the ball goes 5 feet.
Sure. So let's see.
There we go.
right? So there's
initial check.
yes, and that's what I love, right? That's what I love about T-Grind is that, although my delivery and attack is not for everybody.
No, it's everybody's is unique.
Correct.
Right?
Which is why you get fit.
Jordan Spieth is very different from Victor Hovland.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
And then that's why you have all these grinds are all named after pros, right? T is the Tom Pernice.
K is Tom Kite.
Yep. M is for mother,
Yeah,
because it's a tough
Phil
one to grind.
We got two names there. And then, what was the S is Steve Stricker.
Yep, the Stricker grind. So, and he's very
shallow.
He's very shallow, right? Which is what we were talking about before. I can't use the S because it's the back end.
You're really opposite.
Yeah, if you take an S grind and just shave it off halfway, I could use that, but
then you almost have a T.
Then you'd have a Coach Paul grind. You'd have a PN grind, a Paul Nagy grind. I don't think Bob's working on that though. Yeah, I mean, look how soft that'll.
That's buttery right there.
Yeah, and then so now also what this offers is the opportunity for me to skull one right at the person on the other side of the camera. Well, let's say I wanted to hit a flop shot just because I'm fancy.
Look at that.
Right, so.
It's dead in its tracks.
Just dead. So a lot of good things here. And then if we look at these even just, I don't know, let's say we had, off of this turf here, this is almost green length.
Yeah, well,
right?
I mean, we're a few paces off.
Yeah.
YouTubers do not get upset.
Yeah.
We're not chipping on the green.
Yes.
I promise.
But here, let's watch right? So I can still do something with that. And then if I tried something like in the M grind, and that was not a great shot I just hit, but.
There we go.
Right, so yeah. So I have versatility in these two clubs. So we saw the numbers I was looking for on the full shots. We saw some opportunities out of the bunkers, and the versatility here.
And it's important, and I want to make sure to highlight and really hit this home. If you guys do decide to go get fit for wedges, don't just sit and take full swing hack after full swing hack, because your wedges, yes, you're using them from a certain yardage, but most of the magic and the money's made right here around the greens. This is the important spot.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Tyler, so that's a wrap. Thank you so much for your time, brother. We'll do the hug and the bro.
You bet.
We have a busy year of SM10's fittings. Tyler is our wedge, is our fitter in our area.
Yep.
So when he doesn't have fitting days, I'll go in and I'll fit my members and my clients. Yeah. So it's great to get fit by him, to hear what directly out of what Titleist has to say about it. But what were some of your thoughts about the way we came together with the set, with the 54M and the 60T? Yeah,
so obviously you're a player that favors lower bounce, right?
Yeah.
So naturally that kind of cuts our product line in half, and it highlights two or three that we really need to pick up on and try with yourself.
SMT, just like we talked about in my other fitting video,
that's right?
Yeah.
And then one of the biggest things I wanted to highlight, and Paul obviously knows this being a good club fitter like you are, when you're getting fit for wedges, it's important, yes, take your full swing shots, make sure you're getting the proper gapping and you're hitting the numbers that you have, but it's also important to take those same wedges and use them around the greens, because I hate to say it, golfers, but we don't hit every green.
That was my M grind. Those were my long M grind shots right there. They had some spin.
Yeah.
One got there on release.
Yeah.
So that M grind does give me a little bit. Okay, maybe I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to change my swing. So yeah, I mean, not just full shot numbers. Guys come to me, oh, I'm 50, 54, 58.
Yeah.
And then they just go like, oh, I'm all this grind or that grind. I'm like, well, why? Have you tried other shots? So, really, we are blessed to have this kind of fitting situation. Thanks to Twin Creeks for hosting us today.
Absolutely.
Really beautiful facility here. Just feels like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, get fit. If you can get fit outdoors. If you can't get fit outdoors, see somebody who has a really good reputation for indoor fitting. Because as we talked about, I used to fit indoors. I did it. And
it's different.
It's different. However, I will say this turf down here is not much different than a bare carpet.
Yeah.
So you can use those indoor, say, hey, I want a 5-yard chip. Try to hit a 5-yard chip off of the floor. It's hard. But if you have the right wedge,
it's easy.
It will be. So that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much, Tyler. A great fitting, a great time with you. I appreciate it. We'll get more into it into the year. We'll hear about more stuff. Drivers coming out in June.
Woods this summer.
Woo!
woods this summer.
I don't know what is TS something. I don't know. We don't know. So I'm excited. But until then, guys, remember, stay focused and keep practicing. See ya.